Okay, off we go. Sure-footed. The gear change is precise. Make it a pleasant gear change. So, you know, you can get into top gear at 35 miles an hour, you're in 6th, and it pulls okay. You know, obviously it's not ideal if you want to accelerate away, but it can certainly do that to a degree, which explains the good amount of torque that it's got. Another thing about this car is it's really very quiet, so the engine is very smooth. There are no blips. When you pull away, it's constant acceleration. There's no sort of flat point in that acceleration. It's just linear all the way through. And I must say, for a 2 litre, 230 brake horsepower engine, it seems quite frugal if you know, use a light right foot. There we go. I'm doing 55 miles an hour. I'm on a flat road and I'm getting 54, 55, 60 miles per gallon at the moment. Fluctuating, but it's in the 50s, so I mean that's great. Obviously, when you reach higher speeds, then and you have constant higher speed, that fuel economy is going to drop a little bit, or actually quite a lot when you go over that 75 mark. You can see a significant drop in fuel economy. Road well on corners and bends. It stays quite flat. The car stays quite flat. It doesn't move over to each side as you go around the bend. It's very reassuring now. The dial over here, when you choose that the display that I've got now, on one side on the right, the clock shows my speed with the needle and also in numbers, and on the left clock, which maybe you can't see there, no, it shows what gear you're in, and it prompts you to change gear whichever way, up or down, when you hit a certain speed. That's quite good, you know. I mean, lots of cars do that anyway, but this one is quite accurate when it wants you to change, and it asks you to change quite early as well, so that's great for saving fuel. I'm not using it at the moment, but the active cruise control is just fantastic. It's really first time for me that I've experienced active cruise control. Or is that the word, active cruise control? Yeah, I think it might be. So you choose your speed. Say for instance 70, you're going along the motorway, a car pulls in front of you, then it actually not just comes off the gas, but it actually brakes for you, brakes the car to maintain maintain the distance between the car in front, and then when that car in front either moves out of the way or accelerates, then this car will accelerate as well, which is really, really good. It's just a nice feel about this car. It feels good quality, it feels well made, well put together. No rattles, well, not yet anyway. I know it's early days, but this is about 2.5, 3 weeks old, but it feels good, as it should. It's not the cheapest of cars. The brakes have a good solid feel to them as well. It brakes solidly. It's got a what words am I looking for? It's a reassuring braking. So yes, it brakes well, but it brakes progressively. So progressively well. So it's not a harsh braking and then it eases off. The more you obviously press the brake, the more it brakes, but evenly. In another video I'll show, perhaps I could do it today, no, I'll show the dials, the active info display, which is, it really is great. Very informative, easy to use, really easy on the eye, and the options that it gives you are quite well thought out. The information it's given you is relevant then, as opposed to just gimmicky. I think there are speed cameras down here, so I have to be careful and make sure I don't go over the 30mph speed limit. There are the lines, and that is the camera. I can see the yellow back box of the Gatso camera. We come into speed hump here, and this car, that I have to say, for a sporty car with a firmer than average suspension, it really does soak up the bumps and potholes very, very well. Even these, you know, speed humps, I'm not getting jolted about. I'm not being pushed and rocked from side to side. It's really, really, I'm impressed. Very impressed. You know, the comfort of it is way and above what you expect for the kind of suspension that it has. So, thumbs up to that. Overall, this car is absolutely amazing. There's not, in fact, I can't think of much in the way of negatives. One thing which I had in my previous car was that, this is a very picky thing, but I used to like it, was that you could choose when the mirrors folded outwards when you open the car. So you could choose whether for them to fold outwards when you open the car or when you started the engine. Now sometimes I'm in and out of the car I open it, I go in, I do whatever I need to do, take out the whatever, and then I lock the car. So every time I'm in and out of the car, locking and locking, the mirrors are going in and out, in and out. But with my previous car, I chose for them to only fold out when I started the engine. So every time, you know, I could go in and out of the car, lock, unlock all the time without the mirrors folding in and out. And this car doesn't do that. I mean, that's kind of neither here nor there for most people, so it's just something I picked up. If you didn't know it, this is Llanelli in South Wales, near Swansea, and I'm coming here not only to do this video, but I'm going to do a little bit of shopping, household shopping, mundane things, for instance, pads to clean the dishes. When you're using soap and water, I want scouring pads to clean pots and pans, and that's what I've come to buy today. Really boring. Not the most salubrious of towns. Would we call Llanelli a town? It's not a village, it's bigger than a village, it's a town, yeah. It's not the most high end of towns, but it's kind of, people are quite nice here. And the stop start has just kicked in now, so the car's being held. And I find it over the previous car, which had the hill hold and the car hold and an electronic brake. This one, when I go to pull away, pulls away a lot easier than my previous car. The previous car, the brakes tended to hold on a little bit too long, and when I wanted to get away, when I wanted to pull away, it was holding on for maybe half a second longer, and you could feel tugging against the brakes. This one, they just ease off the discs very quickly, and therefore not putting so much stress on the components, I guess, including the engine. What I do find about this, so if I did have my automatic headlights on, they are supposed to come on when the light dips below a certain point, but I find that they come on a little bit too early, because to me now isn't sort of dark enough for them to come on. But I know that it's just said, just give me some information on the display now to say turn dipped headlights on. Well, I don't want them on. It doesn't need to come on. I've got daytime running lights, that's enough for this type of light and this time of day. But I know if I leave it as it really is intended, that the dial is placed into auto lights, then I would have the headlights and rear lights on now. And I don't think that's necessary. So I leave that. So that's another small, very small criticism. There's some parking. Yes, it is. Look at this. How fortuitous is that? Extremely, I would say. Extremely fortuitous, because I'm right into the space here. There we go. And that's that. Turn the ignition off.
Don't forget to subscribe and leave any comments and suggestions of what you'd like to see next.